All right. Have you ever had a conversation with a person next to you in the bathroom stall or, in y'all's case, urinals?
I don't
No.
feel like you do that unless you know the person. You can't just
Yeah.
talk to somebody in the bathroom.
And like you gotta like for it to be an actual conversation, you gotta like the person too. Because I've had
Hmm.
coworkers start talking to me and we're at the urinals and I'm just like, yep, all right, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Mm.
That's crazy.
If you never, okay, if you poop in public, because not everybody will poop in public, as I have learned, I will. I don't care. My stomach
No, I got to.
dictates
I got
my
to
life.
get that out. That's
You've
So, look,
never
I
had to go to the stall in a hurry, realize you ain't got no tissue in there, and you had to just be like, please.
can you spare a square?
Yeah.
That's, so sorry, that's a Seinfeld reference. But yeah.
it is. Yes.
You never had that happen?
Um,
No.
I'm a serial checker because I will just go to the bathroom. I'll step in the stall, and if there is no facilities in the stall, I will find other ways to. I've gone into the women's bathroom to find a roll of toilet paper. I put it back, but yeah, I try not to mess with getting stuck in there. You can't depend on the kindness of strangers in America.
I I do not like public restrooms. I need a safe restroom. Anytime I go someplace new, I try to figure out where the safe toilet is. And it's tragic because I have stomach issues. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna end it there.
I feel you there. That's why I check.
Look, I remember one job I used to. They had lockers in the men's bathroom. Man, I had the good toilet paper. I was like, y'all ain't about to get me. Like I went and bought the red Charmin. I was like, look,
Oh
y'all ain't gonna
no,
get me with this one ply. Nah.
Teflon
One
in there.
time,
Did the bear shit in the woods?
look,
According to Charmin, hell no.
Nah, I have
look,
no shame. I'll shit anywhere. I really
You
don't
gotta go. You
care.
go.
And also, like yesterday, we were out and about, and it's funny. Like you realize you in a rich area when you go into Starbucks and they ain't got no code on the bathroom door. And my stomach was having a fit, and I literally just straight walked in that bitch, and I was like, "Please do not like. If I get to this door and they ask me for a code, I'm going to fall apart because like I'm
look,
not buying
Mm.
anything.
look.
I don't
So
want anything."
the first time that Maurice and I shared a bond, we were on the way back from New York Comic Con, and for some reason we decided to get Popeyes. And you know what happens? Uh, I was like, "Look, man, like I know we don't know each other like that, but I need a bathroom." And he was like, "I got you, man. Exit 12695." And we went to the Starbucks off of that exit, the Spotsylvania exit.
Oh
And
no, yeah.
he was like, "Look, I got you." I went in there. That not only did no one look at me when I walked into the Starbucks, I was able to go straight into the bathroom. It was the cleanest bathroom I've ever seen. Nobody knocked on the door. The toilet paper was everything was great. You know, I finished up,
They're
washed
out
my
there doing
hands,
the
went
Lord's
back to the
work.
car, and I was like, "Yo, that was an amazing experience." He was like, "Man, I've been there. I got you," and we've been friends since.
Very
Yes.
important.
Anyway, uh, we are the secret group of brown kids. If you're still with us after our shitty stories, uh,
Ah, ah. Oh, he said
Uh,
it.
I had to. Thanks for joining us. Who are the secret group of brown kids? It's a secret. But you might be able to find us at the AMC movie theater using the straw trick to get our butter to the bottom of the popcorn bucket. If you know, you know. And on today's panel, we got Tim, aka Not Paul from It Follows.
No.
And
Thumbs
we
down.
have Terra, aka Tsunade, Tsundere, and any other name I might have called her on the last episode. We're just gonna just call her by her first
The
name this time. So here we are.
Hello. We got the triple T once again. We got the Destiny's Child of T names.
Look, I know this is only like the fourth episode, but don't tell Kareem. But at the moment, the triple T is my favorite formation, just because it's corny.
But now we have to
Yeah.
figure out between Tim and I who's Kelly and who's Michelle.
Oh,
Oh
I
no.
I'll.
Oh, that's a good. Ooh,
I know you just
that's
implied that I'm the Beyonce, but
she did.
I'm willing to take Michelle because I'd trip. I'd
You
be the
fall for
one.
Christ? You
I'd be
fall
the
for
one.
Christ.
You up on
I,
the track stealing runs.
look, I'd be the one tripping, and Tim would be the one. Tim would be the Kelly looking at me like, "Girl, again."
I would probably be
Looking at the
Beyonce.
crowd like she's new.
I would probably be Beyonce, where I'm just like, and I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
The show has to go on,
She never
everybody.
reacts to Michelle falling. It's always Kelly like, "Get it together." Mm. But yeah, today's episode we are doing Rye Lane. It's exclusively on Hulu, at least in the States. Yeah, a romantic comedy. It's our first romantic comedy, right?
Yes,
Switch,
actually.
switch it up
Yeah.
after a horror movie. And
Oh, I
it is
get it
the,
now.
yeah.
This is why you didn't have Kareem on. You wanted somebody on that would be somebody that watches rom-coms like me. I got you. I see. I see what you did there.
He just threw it at me. He
In,
didn't ask
in,
me though. He was
yeah, so
like,
this
I
is
love
what we
this
watching,
movie.
Terra.
Yeah, it's because
uh,
I'm a girl. Girls love rom coms.
and the director is Rain Allen Miller, who it's her directorial debut, starring David Johnson and Vivian. Hope I'm saying this right. Vivian Opera, or is it Oprah? I don't know.
Opara?
Opara.
I
I
accidentally
should have
read it
looked
as
up. Yeah, I
Oprah.
should have looked that up because I'm not even sure that's Johnson. That could be.
Mm.
I mean, it's British. That could be Jones' son or
Joan,
John's on
you're right.
John's on.
And there's some other folks, but everybody in this movie is new, basically. I tried finding anybody who I recognized or if they've done anything before. Everybody new. Director, actors, everybody. So that's actually pretty good because Rain Allen Miller, the director, doesn't even like rom-coms like that. And she didn't want to make one, but apparently she made an amazing one. Not to get ahead of myself.
I think it's a really good film. I said
Yeah.
film, movie. What am I, British?
I mean, you could stick your pinky out. You know, now you're a cinephile. A cinephile.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't say that too much because it scares people away. But you know,
You can't say movie like you say foodie, so you got to say cinephile, which is
depends on who you're talking to, who you can get away with, what you can get away with.
How old was the movie?
2 weeks.
2023, I thought.
Yeah,
No. This is like brand. So there's everything about this whole thing is new. New
Yes.
director, new cast, crew,
Yeah.
and they put out something like I don't want to say like it seemed like everybody was kind of deep into this and had done all of this stuff. The experience, it felt like everything was seasoned. It was great.
Yeah.
When I was reading the article that you shared, I even saw that they did the casting for this during the Panini. Like, they didn't do in-person casting. They had to do casting like pandemic style and managed to pull this off, which I think definitely deserves kudos.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Because the actors, they've acted before, but not anything big, and I think it's been mostly theater, or at least for Vivian. But yeah. Oh, I guess we can explain what the plot of the movie is, huh? Yaz and Dom, two 20-somethings, both reeling from bad breakups, connect over the course of an eventful day in South London, helping each other deal with their nightmare exes and potentially restoring their faith in romance. So very generic setup, but whatever. Sometimes it works. And there is no budget for this. All we know is it's a very low budget movie. But the Rotten Tomatoes score, 97% tomato, which is critics, and 92% audience score.
Oh, that.
Which Kareem was here just to... we can argue about that a little bit. But anyway.
Who reviews the reviewers?
Without any spoilers, how do we feel about it?
I give it it was good. I won't give it a number rating or anything yet, but it was really, really good.
I know it's good because of your face. You gave your face, your stink face is like it's like the who made this food? Oh, they put their foot in it. Like
because I didn't know what to expect. Like you said, it's very generic as far as the trailer, and I was like, cool, I need to make sure I hurry up and watch this because honestly, I didn't watch it until a few hours ago. Because I just didn't find time to do it beforehand, and I had some time alone in the house. So I was like, cool. And I was like, okay, it's an hour and a half or whatever. That's go, it's fine. And as I was watching, I was like, damn,
And it
all
went by
right.
fast, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it was
did.
Once it
I was
moving.
got
eating my
once it
little,
got going, it was like
Mm-hmm.
just felt like, whoa, what?
yeah, I was eating my little breakfast. I was like, this is a good way to like start my Sunday.
It's a very realistic day. Like I've kind of been there, so it just like the quickness of like just you and a stranger just being like, screw it, why not? Felt kind of too real.
Facts though, but
Okay.
mine is usually from Tinder and not from how theirs started. But whatever.
I loved it. Cherry, not laugh, recommended it to me because I think she saw an ad for it and was like, "This is a Tifron movie.
Oh.
Hey, you should check this out." And of course I did. And then afterwards, I saw all the buzz it was getting. I was like, "Okay, I was going to get to it eventually." But yeah, I loved it. Watched it 2 times now, and it's one of those movies where you notice even more jokes the second time around. So
Probably easier to notice the jokes if you have as much British cinema as I have taken
I already
in.
knew what you were going to say.
Like there were times when I was just like, y'all just making stuff up. That's not real. Like don't nobody.
Yeah, there was.
What are
He
these
was like,
slang terms you are throwing at me? Just like in there, like a pipper in the can. Yeah, mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the one you ain't? That's fake. But
or when he was like, "Don't frang out or fringe out about it," I was like, "What does that mean?"
I
Look,
got the context over
yeah,
time.
you.
It was fine, but it was just kind of like
It's not about the words; it's about the feeling, right?
it's like listening to Caribbean people. I have no idea what they're saying.
See,
I don't. I catch it. I catch it through the eyes and the body language. Like, oh, I'm not supposed to be in this room.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's
Oh,
you
there's
get the
no food
vibes.
for me. I am not allowed to order that. I'm catching it. I'm catching on. Thank you.
Look, we got 8 months till Christmas. Hopefully, I can get y'all a bit up to speed because I already know one of my Christmas movies for December. What I'm picking, and it's we going right back to South London, guys. But anyway, I know you guys are from North Carolina. I'm West Indian, so it comes natural to me. And I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but like British West Indians and American West Indians, it's the same thing.
Oh,
The
that's
only
crazy.
difference is just the little things like in it,
Just
like local slang. But
just a little different varnish on the patois.
yeah, but it's the same thing. So I didn't struggle at all. Um, but I got you. I got you. If you didn't understand anything, I got you. Just we in it
Uh,
together.
it was, but overall, like I'm visual, which I guess it's a movie, Tim, of course. But
I'd hope so.
the
Yeah.
colors in this movie were like that just you're still watching because you're just in like everything from like his pink sneakers to like
Mm.
her swapping up to purple ones just a little bit later, and like just like the kids in the background like dancing around like doing a TikTok with like all the blues that match the wall behind them. Like it's just really cool stuff was happening.
And
I
I
love when they
appreciate.
do this.
Oh, oh,
Oh, and I was just saying, I love when they do it, especially if it's set in London, because it's real easy to make London or England like just gray.
Yeah.
that's what I was
Uh,
about to say. I appreciate the colors because I heard
yeah.
it sucks there for color.
Have everything looking like Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh
Like,
god,
what's with all this brown and
just
gray?
just dreary. But yeah, let's go through it. Film starts panning over various bathroom stalls, and we see everyone doing something a little different, right? But most aren't actually even using the bathroom, which is already funny. And it settles on a guy. It settles on the guy that ran into the stall to cry. And on his phone, we see video clips of a Joy enjoying herself with like another dude. So you already know what's what. And then it cuts to a girl talking to herself in a mirror in the same bathroom. Then she goes into the stall next to him to pee, and she gets interrupted when he goes, "Hello?" She's like, "Hello?" He's like, "This is the gents." No, actually, it's a unisex toilet. And she starts peeing again. I'm sorry, this part took me out. She starts peeing again, but she can tell that he's over there crying. So when she comes out, she peeks under the door and sees that he has on a pair of pink Chuck Taylors. And she's like, "Everything all right in there?" He's like, "Yeah, come cool, cool, cool." And then so she tries to awkwardly she tries to wash her hands, but he's still in there. And she tries talking to him again, and he's like, I'm having a private moment. I was like, oh, my bad.
That line took
But
me out.
it's not that private.
I was like,
it's still a public restaurant, right?
Like, how rude.
Look, also fucking in the fact,
You
like,
have
she
you
couldn't
have
get
to undercut it.
And that's the thing with her character's name is Yaz. She is kind of rude, but like also it's a Sour Patch Kid. First sour, then you sweet.
Yep, and she was trying to get the sink to turn on because there's no running water, and she just like used the bathroom, and she's like, I can't get it can't turn on. I want to wash my hands, but like it's not working for me, which is very important in general. Like, wash your hands when you leave.
There's two or back to back. In this moment between her peeing, her washing her hand or trying to wash her hands, and then later on where like the joke is the water running. It's the peeing is the funny one, but if you haven't seen it yet, then this is an awkward conversation to have, right?
Yes.
So anyway, after the bathroom scene, okay, it cuts to the girl now in the art gallery where all the pieces are close-up shots of mouths. Have to enunciate that. Mouths. That was gross. Then we see the photographer who took all the pictures of the mouths being interviewed. He's like, boom. I'm sorry, I really shouldn't do the British accent. I'm going to try not to, but it might come out here and there, so I apologize right now. But boom. We know more about the planet Jupiter than we do about the insides of our own mouths. Real talk. The mouth is the Stonehenge of the face. So you already know.
Yeah.
I imagine you know a lot of people like this, Tim.
Oh, I know a lot of painters, and I know a lot of gallery people, and you just have to like kind of like walk yourself through those conversations, just so you can be like, well, I came to enjoy your stuff. No, you don't explain your gross like toes paintings. It's okay. I don't know why you did so many paintings of toes. But yeah. Good to see you. I need a drink. Please stop.
I'm kind of glad I kind of fell out of that circle, but
yeah,
can't imagine it's easy for the friends, as we see here. So the dude that was crying in the bathroom, he daps him up, but Nath looks at another dude and he's like, "What's good, Wes Anderson? Yeah, cool, yeah." And he tells the crying dude, his name is Dom. It's good to see him out and about, and he asks, how he's doing. And Dom's like, I've been working on myself, trying to do Pilates and whatnot, in reference to the breakup. And they said he's gonna go mingle, and he catches Dom's face like kind of change. He's like, "What? Weren't you about to go bring up Eric and Gia, nah?" And Dom starts to freak out, and Nate tells him to be cool, or else he's gonna throw a sign at him and call it a piece of performance art.
Which was just a beautiful moment.
Oh, that whole like, I'm gonna get into it real quick. What's his name? Johnson, Dom's actor, David Johnson. His facial expressions. Look, he's gonna go on my list of like I'll watch anything he's in. His facial expressions alone already had me on board at this point in the movie.
He has the it's funny you put it that way. He like all of the Daniel Kaluuya. I probably murdered that. All of his facial expressions of dour and tired. This guy has all the happy and nervous ones. They're sharing facial expressions. They need to trade them up so they can have a full breadth of like emotions. This guy was always nervous, always like even when he was sad, he looked like just deeply perplexed sad. Not like, oh, I'm down. Just like he really sold that he was in a real breakup.
Yeah, like he acted his ass off. Like he played neurotic, like not even like full blown neurotic. Not like in a what's that? The brother from 2.5 Men. Not him, like that level of neurotic.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, but like that subtle, like he always thinks something's bad is going to happen. It's pretty good. But yeah,
he plays very good. Like he gives very good simp energy, which I know is terrible to say.
He said simp energy.
Like no. As you watch, like especially that first probably like 30 minutes, which we will get into, like his simp energy is essentially unmatched. One and
yeah,
two,
Yeah.
He also gives good, like, as an anxious black person, although I am not a guy, like, before I started my
You
medication, I
felt
was
it.
like, oh, fuck yeah. I was like, oh yeah, this is me unmedicated for sure. Like, give my man some Lexapro, please. Like, please. But again, I was just like, yep. He is just, he going through it. And
Yeah, so Dom goes off on his own looking at the mouths. The girl from the bathroom ends up near him and she realizes from the pink Chuck Taylors that that's the guy that was crying in the bathroom. She comes up behind him and it's like, how you doing? He's like, oh, cool. Slightly confused why the stranger's talking
Yeah,
to
why you
him.
talking to me? Why you talking to me?
And they start talking about the pictures, and Nath is the photographer's name. Nath.
Yeah.
Then Nath slides up behind him, and he starts pressuring him into Dom into buying one of the photograph, like the art pieces, and of course, Yaz kind of joins in on that.
simp
But
energy.
Dom being a good friend or a simp, I don't know. Not a simp for Nath, but a weak friend, I guess. He a good friend. I'm sorry, good friend. He buys his friend's art,
I
even
want to
though
emphasize. I want to emphasize that he bought the worst one.
the worst. We
It's so gross.
not to get ahead, but I didn't catch this the first time I watched the movie. But later on, down in there's a scene where he's in a truck and he has the art, and it's like the guy next to him is like, "Hey, you want to put that in the back?" He's like, "No, I'm just
And
gonna ride up
also,
front with me."
Yeah.
So
I want
I
to
mean,
point
so
out,
he's a good friend. He's a good friend, but of all the pieces,
it's not to get a head, it's to get a mouth.
No.
all right. Good night, folks. That's the episode.
Oh, perfect timing.
Oh no. But, okay. Next scene, we're outside, and Yaz apologizes for helping Nath pressure Dom into buying the piece, and they start heading down the street the same way. She introduced herself as Yaz. You know, I already established your name is Yaz. And as they walk through Rye Lane Market,
Yeah.
they kind of start getting to know each other, right?
Oh,
And
that's right. He says the name of the movie.
he said it. He said it. Uh, Side note: I don't know why I'm asking this because I already know the answer. But did you
Okay.
know what Rye Lane was?
I figured it was a street.
Uh,
I just thought about
That's
bread.
Look, I didn't cash in until the second time I watched the movie that was the street that they met on, or not met on, but like that they started bonding on.
yeah.
Even though it says it like 3 times and they say it, and
Yeah.
I guess I.
Going into it, I just figured it was a street, Rye Lane.
But I guess it's significant in that I guess they're in Brixton in that part of London.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how that's said.
Also, there's a lot of West Indians over there. Anyway, Yaz tells Dom that she's interested in people's messes, and everyone's got a mess, which kind of foreshadows. And we also find out that Dom is an accountant and Yaz is in fashion, but she specifically wants to be like a designer, like movies and stuff too. Dom eventually reveals he's about to meet his ex of 6 years for the first time since the breakup. Yaz says she not too long ago had a breakup herself, and Dom immediately tries to like bond over it. Is that normal? I mean, no, that's normal. That's normal. That's not weird.
That's not that unheard of. No.
Yeah. It's like, I got to break up. You got to break up. Like,
Yeah, but
I
usually
got
it
you.
goes a lot further south immediately after that. It gets real weird. Like, then it
Mhm.
just becomes, you want to bump uglies? Because I'm lonely. Are you lonely? Yeah.
Okay,
Woo.
so shout
Also,
out to Dom for not
Yeah.
going there right away, right?
Mhm.
it was funny too because she was like, oh, the breakup? That means it's still pretty recent, isn't it? And
Oh yeah,
he's
she
like,
picked
Mhm.
up
yeah,
on the language immediately.
He's like, yeah, within the past 3 months. And then he just starts again, the unmedicated anxiousness just like spews
He
itself
said,
out of
"Did you wake up every day and lie there trying to muster up the energy to breathe?" She's like, "Nah, because I'm the one that broke up with my dude, and so I just felt empowered afterwards."
Well, okay.
I mean, have you ever broke up with a person?
Complicated. I got broke up with, and then we did that thing where we were dumb and we got back together, and then I remembered how dumb it was that we got back together, and I did the breaking up, and I didn't like it. I didn't want to be together, but I didn't like having to go, hey, remember how we thought we fixed this? We didn't. I'm
See,
sorry.
We sound like we're in our 30s.
I don't think I've ever done the all right. Like I was the one that ended it. It just either just fizzled out, or
Oh.
I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah,
Secret Tifron things.
it involved World of Warcraft. We don't have to go there.
Well, I will only know when we sit down over cordials after a con.
I don't know when I'll ever find out. I'm not anywhere near there, and now I'm sad. Although I'm coming to BlurCon this year, I promise.
I'm fighting myself to make it there this year, so watch out.
You have to, so then we can somehow record while we're at BlurCon.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Like a panel? Says the guy who likes to say terrible things at panels.
I mean, it's within the realm of possibility, right? I guess. No.
Birdman hand rub.
We'll put it on the middle burner. It's a fancy stove with a middle burner.
5-burner stove.
Ooh.
Oh, you got money.
You got money.
There's not even an oven under this. The oven's on the other side of the room in the cabinets.
Listen,
money.
The second I make it to that point in my life where I can have an actual stove and then a separate oven,
Ooh.
That's it.
All bets are off.
Go off.
I'm still never going to cook, but it's going to be.
Go look in the kitchen. That's nice, right?
Look,
all right, we're ordering Thai.
So yes, there's a conversation back to Dom's breakup, strategically, and he says it's too hard to talk about it, and in the same breath he immediately starts ranting about it. Right?
No, like seconds.
And he slides closer to her and everything. Like he was a couple of steps away, and then he was like,
Yep.
No.
It's too hard to talk about. We were better than fine. We moved together. We had Hamilton tickets.
That's cool.
Thoughts and prayers, my guy.
Does that mean that they were serious? They had Hamilton tickets?
Do you know how hard those things are to come by?
Actually, you're right.
You can't buy one.
So, and then we get this almost seamless transition to the two of them exiting the real world and into a theater. They're watching Dom in the past. Trying to describe it right for those who haven't seen the movie. Watching Dom in the past play out the details where he gets snacks and video chats his at the time girlfriend Gia, only to spot his best friend's dick in the background.
It's pixelated.
No,
dick,
that was.
Because he took a screenshot of it.
And I quote, "That dick belonged to my best mate Eric."
Now, so back to the bathroom thing. You don't just have a conversation with a stranger. You have to know a person. But yes. I have never been so close with another man that I'm just like, hey.
Oh, that you recognize his dick.
That's Jimmy's Jimmy. I know that one. So if that's what having a close male friend is like, it's never happened. I've never had, not one.
I want you to know I am trying to resist asking another man's opinion right now. Like, I want to bring him in and ask him about, like, hey, do you know another guy's dick if you see it? Like, you just
do it, but don't explain it. Don't explain the question.
Okay,
just bring it.
Yeah.
I
Low
hope
context.
This goes well, right?
Baby.
Ask him in the hallway like that. That's even crazier.
Hey.
You ever seen another dude's dick? Would you know the man's dick if you see it?
Oh man.
No,
this is about to be the greatest episode ever, right?
The closest to that I think I've ever gotten is that one of my friends was just like not into wearing clothes in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And you like had to like double knock when you show up because he'd be like, throwing on some boxers. I'm just kind of do that. Definitely do that. I tell you, it's a long.
You can never like sit down anywhere in his room because it's just that like his bare ass was on it.
Well, I didn't sit at his desk. I knew just not the desk. If I sat on his bed, I just kind of be like I'll be over here, like in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Just all right.
Okay.
Low
All
context.
right. No context question for another man.
Okay.
Is there a dick in the world that if you saw it beside your own, you'd be like, I know that dick?
King Noir.
Okay.
Porn star. King Noir.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
fair. Yeah.
I didn't even think
So
of
there
porn
you go.
stars.
Oh, that
Damn.
makes sense. That makes
He-
sense.
He broke
What?
the all right.
He
Oh,
broke
we
your
can't explain. We
spirit.
can't
Even
explain.
him was like,
Yeah.
you
No,
right.
I used to make porn, and also like I'm queer identified, so it's like, yeah, like.
Well,
and I
now we
work
got to
for-
give context.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you- I'm gonna ask the question I always ask of people who have been involved in pornography. Do you know alphabet leg?
Mm-mm,
Okay.
I do not.
Do we get context for that?
Yeah.
I don't know the performer's name, but he has a tattoo that is blacked out from about the calf down, but as it comes further up his thigh, it turns into random alphabets, like they were typed on him in random fashion.
Did you name him Alphabet Leg, or is that like
That is the internet name. If there's a meme that was going around, if you say alphabet leg out loud and your girlfriend looks at you and she knows what it is, you're not doing your job.
Oh.
We'll learn the context of this later.
Okay, nice meeting you, fellas. The podcast and everything. Sure.
He's like, what movie did y'all watch?
The story of
I'm-
alphabet leg.
I'm gonna watch it with him later because I watched it and was like, oh, he would also really enjoy this. And so I'm like,
Aw.
we'll watch it later.
I was going to ask you at some point if y'all watched it together. That's good.
Anne loved it. Anne thought it was really good.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Sorry, that was one hell of a segue. I also appreciate
It's
you
all
had a
good.
definitive answer, like, yes. And I was like, I didn't know if his answer was going to be yes or no because I know that he did porn, but I was just like,
It's a more specific answer than I would have thought of. But I don't know anyone personally, and
Yeah.
I don't think I know any. I'm not as experienced in the pornography as I used to be when I was like in my 20s. So I don't know nothing.
You
Maybe
don't know any new kids?
maybe that old gross dude that everybody puts in underground movies, and I can't even think of his name. I think they called him
Ron
the
Jeremy?
Ron
Hedgehog.
Jeremy?
That's the man. I'm
Yeah.
maybe, but then even then it'd be like,
That dude
well,
just
he's
looks
good.
nasty.
They're just gonna show him on screen, so you would know. You'd be like, oh, that's got to be the guy.
Yeah, I got you. So,
Cold open.
he's like, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh man.
People are like, what? No. What is this?
Kinda-
So yes, like the fact that he screenshotted it and goes, that dick belonged to
Yeah.
my best friend. Like what?
Yeah, and yes,
right,
it's like,
you're
so what
probably
you do
wondering
next?
how I got here.
Yes, it's like, so what you do next? And we see the dramatization. Dom bust in the apartment and beat up Eric, and starts cheering him on. But then Dom admits, yeah, that's not true. I just
Aw,
went into
yeah.
the movie and cried about it.
Aw.
Poor
Here's in
Dom.
the club.
And Yaz asks, so you just casually off to see this girl now? Because, like, remember, he said he was going to meet her. That's where he was headed now. And Dom's like, yeah, they wanted to clear the air. One really funny thing about this part is, like, now that they're out of the dramatization, you still see Yaz holding the popcorn from the fake movie. Like, did you catch that?
For a moment, she had a bucket of popcorn.
She had a bucket of popcorn.
And it was just like, wait, what?
Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I love this. This is so quirky.
Mhm.
Like, because, it doesn't make sense, but does it matter? No. Yeah, so, and Yaz offers, like, you want me to come with you? And he's like, no, I got it. So, next scene, Dom enters the restaurant that his ex-G and Eric are all happy and excited to see him. But, of course, Dom's, quiet and uncomfortable because, of course, he would be, right? Like, why am I, like, I don't want to see y'all.
And they're at a restaurant that him and Gia used to go to. That's the other thing.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
Wait. Well, I missed that. What'd you say?
They're at a restaurant that him and Gia used to go to. He was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
that
met
was
him
their-
at whatever the name of the
That was
place
their
was. He's like,
special
that used to be our
restaurant.
spot.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
no. uncalled for.
And you know she picked it. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, she had to. She the one that wanted to meet him. Yeah, but you could have picked any other restaurant. So, but we're learning really fast what type of person G is, and then we see what type of person Eric is.
Eric is the only what do they call that? It's a white people thing. They call people
A himbo?
no, that too. He definitely is a straight up himbo, golden retriever.
Oh
He's the
yeah.
I've never heard
only
this.
black golden retriever I've ever seen in film.
Yes.
He is like comfortable
Big
with
golden
this
retriever
food's so
energy.
good. You should have some. Oh, you were her girl. You were her boyfriend before me. That's neat. He was just unfocused of like the severity of what's going on. I was like, hey, you're my best friend, and I'm with your girlfriend now. Like it's just not there to him. It's like,
Complete imbecile, right? And
yeah.
like
Not
when he
just,
starts
like,
talking, go ahead.
with your girlfriend, like we go together now, BT dubs. It's been 3 months and we were fucking and whatever, but like not only do we go together, we also live in the house that you two used to occupy with one another.
Like it's just not there to him. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not important. It doesn't even tick a box to him that anything is weird about it.
Complete idiot. And once he starts talking, you could tell that Gia gets embarrassed by him.
Oh yeah,
But-
that was.
But that's also kind of like I mean, you knew what you were getting into. Like, you chose him over Dom. Anyway, and Gia jumps straight into talking about why they wanted to meet Dom. And she says, there's got to be a shelf life on guilt. Or else it's going to be a thing. Every time they see something that has to do with Dom, like, they'll feel bad about it. And she's like, you know what I mean?
That was one of the most disrespectful things I have actually ever heard in like the context of everything. Because yes, in like there should be a shelf life on guilt, but bitch, 3 months, 3.
And you got
You
me
see
sitting
our
in
show
front of
up today
you
and then burn
and
your
my
house
best
down.
friend.
Yeah, you look at him burn our flat down because what the fuck? No. And she's like smiling the whole time as she's talking. And again, the severity of the situation, and she's just like, nah, I was,
Look,
and they're
but
like a Fogo de Chao.
I
like,
don't want to
Disney-
feel bad about what I did to you.
Like, I was
Yeah.
getting so annoyed at this part. Like, Dom, she asked him if he had any questions, and like Dom's like, why? Why'd you cheat on me? And Gia tells him, they weren't happy, which is just, I don't know, something about verbiage. Like, the verbiage in the movie, like, everyone talks real specific, and it's always like a little subtle joke. So, like, once again, you see what type of person Gia is. She's like, nah, we weren't happy. But Dom, Dom had no idea, right? And like, people grow apart and change. But then Yaz busts in the door and comes and sits down. And she kisses Dom on the forehead, and she's like, oh my God, New York was on the phone. And I was like, I gotta go. And they were like, no. And anyway, I'm sorry I'm late. Oh my God, you must be Gia. Wow, girl, your profile pic does not do you any justice. I'm Yaz. And like, you see the whole facade that is Gia shattered. Like, she reaches over to shake G and Eric's hands, and Eric's like, hi, I'm Eric. And yeah, it's like, he's the one with the low res cock. And Gia spits out some of her wine, and Eric thinks it's hilarious. He chuckles, he's like, my work precedes me.
He's just like, again, just kind of like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, that's me. You should have some of this food. It's delicious. Like, he was just so oblivious about it all.
Honestly, Eric's my favorite character, but he's
You know what, Eric? You know who Eric actually reminds me of? And I hope this is not a spoiler. I would hope not. Both of y'all, I know you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, Tifron. Tim, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, barely.
Oh, have you seen at least like the first or second episode?
About 3 episodes or so.
That'll do. You know when Gojo first shows up to scrap with old boy, and that motherfucker's just out there taking pictures and shit, while Sukuna is literally like trying to fight with him, and Gojo's like, "Oh my gosh, but my sweet, like, oh my sweet, oh look at it." It's the same energy that he's giving, like Gojo fighting and taking pictures, and Eric being like, "Oh my dick," and like meat. It's the same thing. Sorry.
That's pretty good. That's pretty dang good.
My bad.
So G's like, I'm sorry, and you are. She goes, I'm Dom's. Well, we don't want to put a label on it. I guess we're just low-key fucking at the moment. We're vibing.
That was
Look,
chef's fingers.
it's like
No, chef's kiss.
Chef's
Yes.
kiss, yeah. Like it's like Yaz busting the door, and she might as well have just stabbed G in the chest, and she just kept twisting the blade. And of course, Eric completely fucking oblivious. And they start talking about how Dom and Yaz met and completely making it up as they go along. And Gia strokes the back of Eric's head, so Yaz strokes the back of Dom's neck.
Uh,
Oh, it's like she like G is just flames. She's trying to hold it together, but it's like it made how not pretentious, how pompous she was
mhm.
in the first part of the scene. Like
She
this
thought
is the big
she thought she had a
mm,
plan, and how's that Mike Tyson thing go? Everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the
punch in the
face.
face. Yes. Oh man. Oh, like I'm sorry, I'm just like picturing just her, like the look on her, the expression on her face was just. I
But
know you
it
can't
just
see me, but
it took her back, it took her down a notch. She didn't plan for that.
oh my, she was lost, hurt. But yeah, so pause real quick. Eric tells Dom he got fired from the sports
The
bar for
sport.
having 18 bottles of piss in his locker because he was too lazy to go down to the staff bathroom in the basement. And yeah, says she can't believe he got fired for that, and but like in the sarcastic way. But of course, it's over Eric's head, and then she immediately pounces on Gia, and I'm sorry, I know I could have left that out the episode, but actually, it's kind of glad I did. I'm kind of glad I didn't because of all of the bathroom talk we've already had. Anyway,
Back to the
would you
bathroom.
have 18 bottles of piss in your locker, Tim?
So uh, like I'm not gonna say too much about myself, but no, don't make a face, don't make a face. There was a point at which it was easier at my job to take a smoke break, go behind the building, and pee in the woods than it was to get permission to take a break and go to the bathroom.
I believe that. I've
I
dealt
worked
with
in
the like.
retail and it was like a multifaceted thing. Like, you ever heard of media play? Or do
Mhm.
you? Well, Suncoast is a better analogy because those lasted longer, I think.
Okay.
Suncoast, they had CDs, tapes, T-shirts, books, all kinds of stuff in the same place. It was like that, and my boss was just like on and on about like, guys, you got to make your bathroom breaks quick because I don't want you. I need you on the floor. I need you on the floor. It was never busy enough for him to justify. He sounded like a man running a restaurant in the middle of New York City on Sweeps Week, and we were in Wyville, North Carolina. No, no, he was too hectic about it. So sometimes I gotta take a smoke break. He'd be like, all right. I go outside, by the brick wall where everybody would smoke, and then I would walk back to the back of the building, step into the woods, get back where nobody could see me, and do my, like minute and a half, 3 minutes of just peeing, come back, and just go inside, go to the back, wash my hands, or some. At one point, I was proactive and got a bottle of hand sanitizer to put in my car, and would just do that. By the way, those will explode. Um, yes,
Yeah,
hand sanitizer will blow up in your car
yeah.
if it's too hot. You want to keep the smallest one you can. You want to put it into your dash, or no, your glove
Center
box, or
console.
your center console where it'll be
Yeah,
cooler. Don't have it in the seat.
yeah,
But yeah, like I would just go do that, and I come back maybe 6 months into it. He's like, "Hey Tim, can I get a cigarette?" I was like, "No, I don't smoke."
Look, I support this
He just looked me
because
dead in the face. He goes, "You don't smoke?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You just took a smoke break yesterday." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You can't take smoke breaks if you don't smoke." And I was like, "Why not?
look,
Why do they get to go outside just because they have an addiction?"
I can't properly like verbalize it, but I appreciate you doing this because it's like a passive aggressive way of saying fuck capitalism. I don't
Yes.
know
Yes.
how, but it's there. I
It is
see it.
definitely in there.
right?
And
If that guy can have 5 minutes just because he don't have to get
And
off
then
the
still
clock.
have his breaks. Like the smoke break
Mhm.
doesn't take out from their normal breaks. Nah,
Yeah, he ain't got to clock out just so he
Nah.
can go and enjoy himself.
You take an ear
Mm-mm.
break.
Yeah. I take a sick of y'all break.
I used to
A
take a
mental
French
health
fry
break.
break.
Yeah.
I used to take a French fry break when I worked at Burger King, and everybody went on smoke breaks, and I didn't smoke. And I was like, I'm taking a small French fry, and I'm gonna sit in the office and watch the cameras. They were like, you can't do that. I was like, I can do what I want, and so that's what I used to do. And I used to take my small French fry and a ranch dressing.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that sounds delicious. The Burger King ranch used to be on something.
Mm-hmm.
And the long chicken sandwich. Dang, I'm hungry now. Oh, I messed up.
R.I.P. to a real one. R.I.P. long chicken sandwich.
We'll miss you. Every step I take. All right.
Hold on, you got to pay Sting $1,000 now. Shout out Diddy. But yeah, so Yaz is getting in G's ass, and so you dumped this funny, clever, successful accountant for this jobless human been fired. And Eric's like, oh, that's not nice. And Yaz goes in for a little bit more, and then ends it with, oh, and by the way, your man swiped me on Tinder a week ago. And her and Dom dip.
He's like, it's in sleepy mode. No, I didn't. I don't even know you. I've never seen you before. It was the sleepy mode that hit me, because anybody who knows who's been on Tinder, like, it will literally go into sleep mode if you do not access the app within a timely manner. And so I was just like, that's hilarious.
Oh, damn.
But speaking of sleep mode real quick, I found out 2 days ago that, like, my phone deletes apps. Like, it'll put apps in to sleep. And then after a while, it'll like delete them or pretend that they don't exist, even though they're still on the phone. So I was like, where is my Pokemon Go? I can't find Pokemon Go. But then when I searched it, it came up.
Mine popped up and it warns me. It's just like, I'm going to put these apps to sleep because you're not using them. And I'm like, don't do that. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, but if you do it, you get more, space. And I'm like, I guess. I regularly go through and just check out. There's these 2 mahjongs I don't play. Well, I don't use the Walgreens app that often. I get it. I see what you're trying to do, but just let me do it.
Look, I figured that, like, it would turn them off so they're not running in the background. I didn't know they would pretend that they don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So they go outside and Dom gushes over what Yaz just did. And he's like, where'd you get all that? Like, that's exactly what I wanted to say. If only I wasn't rolling over like a little bitch. And Dom offers her to take her out to eat, for sticking up for him. And they chat a bit about Dom living at home. And they get to this food spot, a Mexican British spot called Love Guac. I'm not even know.
I wasn't sure how to say that either.
Because guacamole, but it's clearly a play on Love Actually. Is it
like Guac-chili? Yeah.
And we get a fun cameo. Did you catch that? Colin Firth.
So that really was Colin Firth?
Yeah, it was Colin Firth.
That's hilarious. Because I know they called him Colin.
And she
Love Guac-chili.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cute.
She's like, yes, Colin, we'll have 2 spicy porks with everything.
Man did not like his indecisiveness.
Look, because he was like, how spicy is spicy? Because, like, one, it was an extra layer of funny to me, because, like, they don't specify if he's, like, his ancestry, like, if he's West Indian or not, but just black people in general, it's funny. Usually they can handle spice, and even if they can't, they don't say anything. But how he was going about it, and then the look that, like, Colin Firth gave him.
Like, when he literally takes, like, the spoon and just sets it down and, like, leans in like, bro, come on, make a decision.
Oh, man. That part was pretty funny. And, like, we get some more cute bits of them walking together and as they talk about their exes and missing the red flags. Then we get a dramatization of Yaz and her ex, where she explains, like, there's 2 types of people in the world. Ones who wave at boats and ones who hate joy.
Oh, man.
Her ex being the type that hates joy because he thought it was ridiculous that you would wave at someone on a boat. The ex's name is Jules, and you already can tell, like, he's the bad guy, just like we knew Gia was the bad guy.
Jules being an artist, a sculptor, I think, it was enough for me to be like, yeah, here we go.
Here we go. You already knew.
Mm,
And eventually, Yaz suggests they go get a drink, and Dom's nervous about missing the last train home or whatever. But Yaz convinces him, and just go where the breeze takes him, right?
yeah.
So it's real cute so far, especially the the scene with Yaz running into the restaurant and completely like at this point I knew I was gonna love the movie, completely shattering fucking Gia's hopes and dreams. I don't know, like she just like because you can tell she's evil because like you didn't just want to like she was rubbing it in like she wanted to
Overkill. It
yeah
was it was unnecessary. Like she really
and
wanted
then
to like she felt bad at what she did, but she almost wanted to like teach him a lesson.
yeah
Like why?
like you've done enough. Like even if like I understand like okay so you fell out of love with him like you don't think much of him anymore, he is kind of a little too laid back and what's the word Terra used earlier, but
Did did she call him a simp?
yeah, like I get you not finding that attractive and you falling out, but just let it go, right?
A little bit.
Nah, she wanted to hurt this man after she done already hurt this man in the worst way.
It's too
But then
much.
Yes came in and gave it all back to her, and that shit was amazing.
No, I was like, Yaz is my favorite from that point. Like Yaz, I was like, that's my favorite. I love this.
Yeah. So they get to the pub, and while Dom's getting drinks, Yaz gets a call from a job interview. They have to push the job interview back a bit, and she decides to just cancel it completely. And Dom comes over and asks Yaz to get in their breakup story, and he wanted to hear the details basically since she impressed the hell out of him basically at the restaurant with Gia, right? Uh, and he wanted to know what's it like to be the one that does the dumping.
Mm.
And Yaz says, she didn't want to talk about it, but eventually she comes around and she's like, yeah, we broke up because of A Tribe Called Quest. And similar to the theater dramatization earlier with Dom, we're back to them watching the past. This time we're seeing Yaz interact with their ex Jules. And Dom is like on a balcony watching it or something.
Yeah.
And like Jules was being a dramatic prick while Yaz was trying to be romantic. Like she said she was trying to get things going again, and she decided on a simple creed to live by. If you make the hummus, you should get the head. And we see he was being a dick to her. He even told her her breath stunk at some point.
Yeah,
She's
your
like, "Oh,
breath
it's the
smells like
hummus I
hummus.
made." Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, get away from me!" But I'll have some of that hummus.
That was such a weird line,
right? Like, I'm mad at you for pushing up on me and your breath stink, but let me get some of the stuff that make your breath.
Your
Anyway.
breath smells like that cheese that comes with a little red piece of plastic. Gross. Could you get me one of those with the crackers in there? I want one now. Now that's I don't want to kiss you, but I want to hold that red plastic and eat the cheese off of it.
Exactly. I mean, if
Not
both
from
of
your
y'all
mouth,
breath
though.
smell like that, anyway.
Not from your mouth,
but
though.
that was what made Yaz be like, you know what, fuck this dude, and she dumped the hummus all on his crotch. And she left, but she forgot to get her vinyl copy of Low End Theory, which I understand.
Fair.
I love that album.
It's a bit.
And Dom immediately offers to take her to a record shop so they can go buy he'll buy her a new copy. And she turns it down. She's like, "Nah, I want my copy, not a new copy."
Which
fair. Yeah, I'm real particular like that too. I get it. And Yaz gets the bright idea to go to Jules' apartment and steal a record back. Dom reluctantly follows her. And when they get there, she pulls out her janitor key ring, a whole bunch of random keys and stuff. But of course, oh no, she still has the key, but it doesn't work. He changed the locks, which is
as you do.
A second. Yeah. To be fair, but it's also a second little foreshadowing hint.
I meant to say, you were saying foreshadowing. Her story took place as a stage play. It all seemed very acted out.
Yeah.
It seemed very purposely like sort of like here's a dramatization of what happened, where in the opposite, you were watching what happened to him as if like in a on a movie screen, like
Yeah,
this is a
like he was in the movie
yeah,
theater. Yeah,
yeah, this is a recording of the things that happened, whereas hers is a dramatization. So
yeah.
I felt like the difference was on purpose.
That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty neat. I didn't catch that they were movie versus theater.
Mhm.
You know, the key no longer works, and Dom brings up the idea that someone else might have a spare key, and Yaz immediately thinks about Janice and Denise, Jules's mums, mums.
Plural.
Yes.
Yeah, not just plural in British, mums. So next scene, they go to a house, and Yaz tells Dom to chill and keep folks chatting while she goes and looks for the key. And the mums answer the door and are excited to see Yaz, but then they look at Dom and your faces immediately drop. Like, ugh. Like, it wasn't even like a.
Yo, yeah, they're so excited to see her, and then just like, mm-hmm,
Which makes sense when you think about it.
mm-hmm.
If they love her that much and they see her with a new dude, it's like, all right, now
Yeah,
there's.
there's
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't look at it that way. That's her ex's mom's or
Yeah.
mom and grandma. I'm not sure which it is.
Oh,
And they're
there
still
were a couple.
excited to see him.
Yeah.
Okay, they're still excited to see her, even though it's her. You know that she's an ex.
Yeah.
Okay,
Listen,
that's she was in there. That was a relationship.
Yeah.
but it's funny because at the same time they were only together what, like a year-ish,
Yeah, she
maybe
said I think a
top.
year and a half.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
like
weren't
they didn't
even
even live
together
together.
that long, but it's interesting thinking about like the closeness that she had with his moms, and then when as you progress throughout the movie and you learn about their actual relationship, it's just like,
Mhm.
how the fuck did that manage to like how
Well,
sway?
I
more
think
than
it's
like,
just
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say it's just Yaz is awesome, right? Like we already fell
Mhm.
in love with Yaz at this point, right? So
Definitely.
yeah. Which just means Jules is just that much of a piece of shit, right?
Oh yeah.
We haven't even gotten to him yet. But yeah, so she tells the moms that she's just needed to use the bathroom, and they were nearby, and so she goes off, and like Dom ends up in the garden in the back talking to talking to the men, the uncles, I guess.
For the Americans in the room, when the British say garden, they mean the backyard.
Yeah, the backyard. You caught up, Terra? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just
Okay.
thinking about when her his moms were like, make sure you use the good soap,
Oh
as a way of showing like how much that relationship was solidified because
Yeah, like,
again, use the good
because
soap.
look, even if they're British, we knew what that meant, right? Like the good
no,
soap.
they were doting on her as if she were family,
Yeah,
and they know how messed up her son, the son is, and they were
yeah.
still like, nope, you were like, when's that gonna maybe blossom again? Like, you know, it can't happen. Well,
Mhm.
we just hold hope that you
Yeah,
will fix him, please. That's in
yeah.
there,
They're pretty awesome.
please.
So Tom's in the back. This is. I'm sorry. I'm laughing already because I'm remembering what happens. Dom's in the back, and one of the
Oh
uncles
boy.
immediately starts like chatting him up, and he takes his phone because I
Oh,
guess they were talking about music. Go ahead.
this scene was like a lot. I was like, yo, this was a trap.
it,
And
the like. Go ahead.
Dom was already nervous, like when they got to the front door, even, and she was like, "Just keep them busy." And he's like, "Whoa, what do you mean,
Whoa.
just keep them busy? Like, what am I supposed to do?" And she's like, "I don't know, just like talk to them, figure it out." So he's literally left to his own devices. And when they see him when he opens the door, and they're like, "Ill, yeah, you can go
Yeah,
in the back. Make sure, but don't drink none of our liquor, because that's another thing that she told him."
yep.
And
She's like, you don't get stay out of good stuff. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Like,
poor
but like
person.
Uncle number one is like trying to play dominoes. Is like, why are you looking at me? The second guy, Dom sits down. The second guy's just like, that's my chair. It's like, okay, okay. He ends up in a little kid chair. And when someone finally comes over to talk to him, I swear to God, this man is a trap. He's here to roast you. That's what this was
Oh
about.
yeah, the he from the jump, he immediately starts to get information from him, and he could tell that they were talking about music
Hmm.
and what type of music he likes. But like, I guess he was like in his mind. was like, "Oh, you soft." He's like, let me get your phone." He took his phone.
Yeah.
He gets his phone from him, and somehow gets it to hooked up to the Bluetooth like
Oh my
instantly.
God.
And of course, it's not any of the songs or any type of songs he was talking about. It's just sad shit. Poor Dom.
He got a slight reprieve with Wishing Well. Like for that. Like one guy was like, nope, that's heat. Leave it on.
Yeah,
Leave
the
that
one
one
uncle,
on.
and he starts trying to sing along with it. And everyone, now all the focus is on his ass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after that awkwardness, Dom mentions that they were on the way to Jules's flat, and the same uncle that set him up with the songs is like, to liberate Yaz's vinyl. And Dom's like, "Oh, yeah,
Yes.
like you already know, like, you thought, all right, easy night, right?" Like he's on his side now, right? He's like, "I think I know where to find the key," and he tells him it's in a. Well, I don't think we hear him tell him, but like,
How did he put that? It was like, it's in a special place.
it's in a special place, and Dom follows his instructions, and there's a vanity at the on the landing up the stairs, and he opens the top drawer, panties.
Oh.
And if that's not bad enough, at the bottom of the stairs, the moms are talking to Yaz, and they're questioning Yaz about Dom. He hears Yaz say that she only knew him for about a day, and she started hanging out with him because she felt sorry for him because he was crying in the bathroom. And Dom, without thinking, he audibly says, "What?" And they hear him and run up the stairs. And they catch him because he couldn't get the panty drawer closed in time. And then of course, so there's the moms, Yaz, and then the uncle that sent his ass up there comes up too, and he's like, "Oh no, what have you done?"
Yeah, just like, you sent me up here. You set him up again. He set him up twice.
Oh my god,
that guy's having fun at his expense.
It's funny because
he's just like, I can't believe you've done this.
There's uncles like this that it's like they smell the bitch in you and they just immediately.
It's like, oh, this is gonna be good. I'm ready.
Look, I'm fortunate enough to not like my wife's family doesn't have any of these type of people, but I understand that it's a common thing. At least for black people.
Oh no,
you're going to have those antagonistic ass family members. It's like, who's this new person? Let me see if I can break them. But yeah, it cuts to them leaving the house, and they make a quick joke about what just happened. But Dom confronts Yaz about what she said, how she only was with him because she felt sorry for him. And Yaz admits, like, yeah, that's how it started, but also, like, part of it is her running away from this job interview. And since she was already having so much fun with Dom, she wanted to keep it going, as opposed to go into this interview where she's probably going to get shot down again, So Dom understands, and he was like, all right, we're cool. Let me get your number, right? So, okay, we see Dom leave, and the moms call Yaz back over, and this is how they word it. That idiot Mona feeds the succulents, so she might have a key. And they let her borrow, they let Yaz borrow the Beast, which is their Vespa. But did you peep that when they brought the Vespa out, the other mom in the back was holding 2 helmets?
Did you make
I didn't notice she was already, I didn't notice she already had the helmets out.
Yeah, so it's like, they didn't just give her 1 helmet, they gave her 2 helmets.
This was the plan.
Yeah, but like, even though they just caught this man going through their underwear drawer, they're like, nah, well, you're still gonna be with, Yaz. Like, they still wish her the best,
Yeah.
Or they already knew that uncle was on some shit.
I almost bet when he came up there and was like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done this. It was a clue to them to be like,
they knew.
Yo, you playing with somebody. Don't leave him alone. We ain't do nothing yet.
How many times have you sent somebody up here to our underwear drawer, Joe?
Right? Why does he know where it's? That's funny. He's like, oh no, what have you done? It's just how dramatic he played it.
Oh God.
But yeah, we cut the Yaz on the Vespa, and then like we see Dom peek out from behind her. They established that Mona runs a karaoke night, and she is a little bit extra. Like Yaz warns Dom. So they get the karaoke night and meet Mona, and Mona asks, "You're not going to go over there and cut all the crotches out of his pants, are you?"
And shit in his sink.
Shit in his sink. Hint 3, right? Uh, and like, or Yaz answers like, no, but she's like clearly nervous how that Mona asked that damn question. And Mona goes like, I'm just struggling to understand what I'm going to get out of it. And Dom says, how about the chance to do the right thing?
She's like, I'm stuck here with these amateurs. I want to run around and go shit in somebody's sink.
Mona really was extra. And she's like, I'm struggling to understand what I'm going to get out of it. And Dom's like, how about the chance to do the right thing? Mona snaps back, all right, it's not the fucking Avengers, darling. The Mona says that, they can get up and perform karaoke on the stage to try and liven up the night a little bit, right? And she'll give her the key. So they agreed to it, but by the time it was time for them to perform, like, Yaz starts to be nervous, but Dom takes the lead, and he goes up there, and he immediately starts bombing. But once again, like, Yaz kind of comes to his rescue, and she jumps up there, and together, like, all the booze turns into chairs because they start rocking the mic.
The complete reenactment of their story.
Yeah! The story that they had completely made up before, which is really cute. I'm not gonna lie.
And great karaoke song.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
Like, the music choices throughout, like, the entirety of the movie, I feel like it's worth saying. Like, A1, they did fantastic jobs just being like, here's just good music.
Absolutely. Especially for a rom-com.
Yeah, because that could, it's easy to be too cheesy with it,
Let's just put a Tom Jones music in here. Just why not?
It's not unusual. So after they get off, like, all excited from the song, like, Yaz steals a kiss from Dom. And then Dom tries to take her into the bathroom. But I guess
there's a lot of bathroom in this movie.
Look, there really is. Because there's still another bathroom scene to come. But before anything really happens, the bouncer bangs on the door. Hey, y'all can't be in there. And then they run out. Now we're at Jules' apartment. So they head out to Jules' flat, and immediately Dom is like, all right, let's get the vinyl, we can bounce. But Yaz is like, nah, I gotta pee. In the bathroom, she finds the Diva cup? What she call her? Diva
A
cup?
moon cup.
Moon
yeah,
cup?
there was Moon Cup in this one.
Are they the same
But
thing?
basically, yes.
They are.
Okay, just making sure I didn't just... Okay.
Like Burger King, McDonald's.
Okay, gotcha.
Hold on.
She finds a moon cup out in the open next to the toothbrushes. I'm sorry, the Burger King thing.
Well, maybe Burger King. Well, Burger King, McDonald's is a bad one. What if it's more like like all of a sudden all I can think about is Applebee's versus a good restaurant. I don't know. It's just
Chili's.
Chili's.
This is good, taking it back to another episode. But yeah, anyway, so moon cup. A moon cup out in the open, like next to the toothbrushes and everything.
Multiple, just sitting there like an art.
Which I will say is wild as fuck, considering your moon cup goes like straight up in your cootis nooch and it collects blood, and the fact that it is just chilling next to the toothbrushes as a person who like uses these
are you cleaning that properly before you use it?
Layers.
Like, because it's just sitting out there. That's not hygienic whatsoever.
Wild.
So what does Yaz do? Like, she gets irritated because clearly, like, he done already got a new girlfriend. She's
just
in
the house.
Not just there's 2 toothbrushes now, and
I feel maybe they're telegraphing that he didn't want her to move in, but somebody else is just there now.
I mean, that's
and
possible.
She did make mention because Dom had asked, like, "Oh, well, did you all live together?" And she said, "No, we hadn't quite made it there yet."
Yeah. But that was after a year and a half. But it's only been 3 months? Or
Yeah, she made
If
it sound like it
even.
wasn't very long.
yeah. So she she takes it outside to show Dom. She says Jules used to make her hide her tampons in her makeup bag. Now here this is next to the toothbrush, you know. So she understandably gets annoyed, but she starts freaking out, and she's like, "I need a drink," and like Dom's like, "Yo, we really should go." And she goes and she finds the new girlfriend's underwear and puts it on over her pants.
Just, ma'am.
So
Ma'am,
like
this is a win.
now all those hints from before that Yaz might shit in the sink. It's like, oh, it might happen. As she starts to rant, they hear the door opening and they run and hide. And like Jules and his girlfriend come home, and it only takes a few moments before they realize someone else is in the apartment, right?
They really threw bears that one.
I mean, to be fair, when Tabby, his girlfriend, opened up the refrigerator and saw her moon cup had been shoved into some rice and beans, I
They-
too would have probably been like,
She immediately blamed that one on Mona,
She's like, I
which
don't understand Mona's humor.
fair.
But yeah, so Mona's the only one with the key.
fair, but
But-
still, I'd be like, something's afoot.
I think she says like, "Oh, this isn't hygienic," something like that, right? Like, but yeah, so Yaz and Dom come out and tell on themselves, and Jules tells Dom it seems like he's a nice guy and he should take this advice and run because she'll ruin his life. And like you could obviously, that's mean on its own, but you see like Yaz react to that, and he calls her a human quagmire. And we get a little funny bit where Tabby tries to say that's a bog, and he's like, they know what a quagmire is. Anyway, but you also like you could tell, okay, it's not just Jules not liking Yaz. He's just a prick, because he's a prick to Tabby too. Granted, Tabby's also kind of
Basic.
yeah. But Jules is like that to everybody, right? So Dom runs over and finds the low end theory, and Jules goes over to try and stop him, but he continues to shit talk Yaz, and he's like, "Mate, this isn't going to end well for you. She's already got you breaking and entering." And like Dom tries to defend Yaz, and he says, "She's also had me rap into a room full of people and racing around town on the back of a moped. Your mom's moped, actually. They lent it to us after they caught me sneaking around her underwear
Just
drawer."
immediately.
And like you see
Too
Jules'
free
face,
with that
like,
information.
yeah, but like that was a whole lot of information at once that you see Jules' brain just kind of stop working. Like, what?
Man, when
But-
shots fired.
Yeah. And Jules goes, "Are you done? Because just because I know how to rock a kimono doesn't mean I don't know how to fuck you up."
Oh my god.
He does.
His freaking Matrix pose
His
after
snake
that was
pose.
enough.
He didn't
That's
just
a-
do the snake pose. He was doing the eyes and the tongue too.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
enough
man.
to tell me like I don't know how to fight, but I'm not gonna have nothing to worry about here. What the hell?
I mean, if it was you, but Dom.
Dom was very much like, oh no. This is
So-
gonna be a slap fight.
So Dom tries to apologize, but says he's still taking like the record. But then he backs up and knocks over one of the art pieces or whatever, right? And the girlfriend runs over, freaking out, and like Jules immediately slaps the shit out of Dom, and Yaz runs over towards Jules, and Jules, I guess there were two of the art pieces. One got knocked over, and when Yaz runs over to Jules, like he immediately starts to protect the other one. Shenanigans, yeah.
Ridiculously.
But yeah, in the same, just how he moves was funny. Like, like at least he didn't slap Yaz too, right? Like he slapped Dom, and then Yaz runs over and he's like, no, like, please don't knock this one over.
Like he was immediately like protective of his art because he knew that she would just fuck it up.
That's honestly the only thing he probably like cares about. That's on brand, right?
Yeah.
In the commotion, like, oh, go ahead.
The girlfriend at one point was like, "Oh no, I posed for that one for weeks," and I was like,
But it was like a tree
What?
or some shit. Like,
"Yeah," I was just like, I was like, this is too accurate now.
That's funny. Yeah, in the commotion, Jules sees another art piece that was damaged earlier. And Jules says he almost felt sorry for Yaz,
Ugh.
but he knew he made the right decision dumping her. And Yaz takes off, and Dom runs after her. And outside, Yaz admits she was the one who got dumped. She moped around for weeks in the same sweatpants, left a bunch of begging voicemails, and even accidentally liked a 5-year-old picture of Tabby on Tabby's mother's Facebook. So Jules went and told all their friends that Yaz was a stalker. And literally the only person who didn't believe it was Cass, who was the photographer
The
Nathan's
mouth.
girlfriend.
The mouth. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she only had one friend left, is basically what we find out.
Yeah.
I said we've all been there.
We've all gone a little too far.
A little too far. I mean, love.
Have you
love's a crazy
never
thing.
accidentally liked a really old photo and then started to panic about it?
Well, that's the way Instagram is made. You just be scrolling and be like, oh, that's neat. Oh,
You
that's from 4 years. Well,
Oh, we're
notifications
here now.
already out. You unlike it, it's gonna look even weirder.
You could lean into it and just keep liking pictures, like them all.
You gotta like a couple from like every other year, and like
Try to
just
play
like
it off.
it's like there you go. It's just because I like these pictures. Oh, there's one of your dog. I better do that one. I better do the dog. Yes. Now I look less insane.
But yeah, so Yaz apologizes for lying and asks if they could just start over. And this is what bugged me. Dom says, nah, because she was lying from the start.
Oh.
No, this was the only part, literally the only part of the movie that felt forced.
They had to rom-com it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think this is the place they chose, which
'cause
felt a little weird.
all the rom-coms go on pretty much the same journey and have the same tropes. They didn't hit all the tropes in this one. Like there's no like rain scene.
Oh no, I guess not. Yeah.
This is one of the moments where like they have to break up for a reason, right? So yeah, Dom says nah because she was lying from the start, and they have a fight where they throw each other's shit in each other's faces, like, oh, you live at home, and oh, you went crazy on your ex, yada yada yada. And then Yaz throws
that was low. That felt
yeah.
mean.
Yeah, like they got real mean real quick. And like Yaz throws the vinyl in the trash, which was, the whole point of the mission. But
yeah,
it didn't matter anymore. So yeah, so we get the breakup. And then we get a montage of them being alone and sad and almost texting each other, but it doesn't quite happen.
Also,
And
I want to make a shout out to Dom's actor. I know I called you a simp earlier, and I don't even like using the word simp, but it was the best one that came to mind. But when you were laying there shirtless and I saw your abs and stuff, I took it back because I was like,
yes. Man, even I noticed his abs. I was like, yo, like, because before he had his green jacket, or was his pants green? I don't remember. I know his shoes were pink, his pants were green, or his jacket was green. Something was green, and something was another color. His jacket was green, and he had he was bow legged too, like old Denzel. He's bow legged, so it was like
God.
It was just really funny seeing the wide shots of them walking together and him having bow legs, and so it just added to another layer of like Dom being not quite like the picturesque
cool guy.
Man, yeah, right. But then there's a really quick clip of him laying on his bed thinking, and it's a shirt off, and this nigga got abs. Oh,
hands were stacked. I said, I felt like one of those girls that they always talk about in, blurred groups where it's like, you don't like me because I don't look like this and I'm a nerd and blah. And I was like, to be fair, the actor is not my type aesthetically. I will say that carte blanche.
You don't like niggas with bow legs?
If you got a fatty and you got bow legs, that's fine. But also, I waddle when I walk. So who am I to be out here judging anybody at all when I waddle like a fucking penguin? But again, when I saw him shirtless, I was like, "That's cool. That's real nice."
Yeah, he out here thirst trapping.
Yeah, he was. He tricked. Like if
Look,
he would have probably pulled up his shirt in that bathroom, she would have still gone the distance. Fuck that bouncer knocking on the door or whatever. She'd have been like, that's fine.
You're like, we're
look,
not doing nothing
I
but washing clothes. Look at these washboards I'm working with.
I want to know who got that clip in the movie. Was it him? Was he like, hey Rain, I know this isn't in the script, but like, could you just like have a reason for me to have my shirt off? I've been working really hard. And Rain was like, all right, I got you, boo.
He wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to get Jonathan Majors out here where everybody clowned him for being so scrawny. When he first turned out, he's like, I'm going to let y'all motherfuckers know I have abs. Okay? I put
Next
in
thing you
work.
know, this this nigga going up 2 ropes at the same time in Venice Beach. Like,
It is a very rom-com thing to show the guy shirtless, but normally it's when they do it, it's
yeah,
so that the woman in the instance can randomly see his shirt off and go, "Oh my,
oh
oh wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that existed." Just
Nah,
to
they
give
slid
that
that in
little
for
like,
us.
it was for us.
They
Thank you
slid that
for
in
the
for
fan
Terra.
service. Thank you.
Fan service.
Thank you. Some tasteful fan service.
Yeah.
And he was wearing gray sweatpants. Hey,
Yes,
yo.
he was. Oh
Like,
my God, you're
my
absolutely
man
right.
was really out here thirst trapping because we love gray sweatpants season.
It's so
Okay?
funny because that clip, that cut was only probably like 2 seconds.
Mhm. It was
Terra, you
purposeful
paused
though.
it, didn't you? Yeah.
I didn't pause it, but I think I actually rewinded it back to be like, wait
Yeah,
a
hold
minute.
up.
And I was like, who
Where
are
those
they
come from?
showing here? Is it him? And then I rewinded it back and I was like, God damn, it is.
He's gonna be a star.
Call me. I said,
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry. I said I took it back.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
after, like like in the montage, like we see him he tries the spicy pork burrito again, immediately spits it back out.
Yeah, the montage of them trying to like kind of repair the broken things or
Mhm.
like try things that the other kind of talked
Yeah.
It was very cute.
It
Yeah,
was.
like you see Yas buy a new low end theory, and then she even goes to the theater that that they
Mhm.
went to in Imaginary World, and she thought she saw Dom and chase somebody, and it was a woman. And it quite
Yeah,
worked
she's
out.
like, "Are you
But
stalking me?"
yeah,
But
and
she
then it
did have
ends
on
with
that green, like
yeah,
that green jacket. It was almost the same jacket,
And she was walking bow legged.
bow leg.
and she had washboard abs.
Had a
Oh,
booty.
yeah. and then it ends with them on other dates, but clearly like not enjoying it. So now Nathan's having another art exhibition. This time instead of mouths, it's asses.
Yeah. He used the Jupiter line all over again.
I didn't even
He uses
catch
that same Jupiter line that he used
I wish
about
he would have
mouths.
used
that the ass is a
Uranus.
Stonehenge. What'd you say?
He's like,
I
oh,
wish he would have used Uranus instead of
No,
Jupiter.
it was right there.
I thought that's where he was going with it this time. It's like, we know a lot more about the anus than we know a lot more about Jupiter than we do the human anus. Shut the hell up. No, we don't. That's
Well, now
weird. You're weird. Some art dude stuff. That's what art dudes. He's taking home 2 girls tonight because that's his job. But I hate his job.
and he's not that creative.
No, it isn't.
He just keeps that one in the chamber.
You know, we know more about Jupiter than we do the 1998 Malibu classic. Scientists want to know.
We also see that Yaz got the job or a job, right?
Yes.
So good for her. But she's like, while she's on the job setting up someone's costume, she's talking about Dom, but she's like in denial about it, about liking him. And the customer's like, not customer, the actress is like, girl, like, who you fooling? And like while that scene's happening, we see Dom moving out of his parents' house. And that's when we get the scene with freaking Eric. Eric's helping him because I guess they're still friends.
Yeah.
Helping him move. And Eric's like, you don't want to put that picture in the back? And he's like, nah, it stays up front. the mouth picture he bought off of Nathan from the last
Yeah.
exhibit.
Like he kept. I swear he got the worst possible one.
Yeah,
So
it
bad.
looked like that. You know that fish mouth. Like anyway, uh, Eric yells out the window like, "Bye, Dom's mom. Bye, Dom's dad. Love y'all." he's like, he's so stupid. He's innocent.
Just
Like,
golden retriever energy.
so now, now we're at Nathan's art show. Now we're at Nathan's art show with all the asses. Uh, and G and Eric are there, and it's clear that like Dom made peace with him because he's chilling with them. And Cass, Nathan's girlfriend slash Yaz's friend, uh, is there too, but Yaz isn't there.
Gia asks Dom like, "Oh, where's Yaz? You two were disgustingly perfect for each other."
Oh,
And he just starts
Yeah,
kind of like stumbling through an answer of, "Oh, well, maybe we actually weren't."
yeah, and you could tell like it still bugs him, and like Cass picked up on that. So Cass was like, "Well, this is more for her, I guess," because she was like, "Hey, that picture of ass is my ass. You can look at it. You can look at it. You don't, so it's cool. You can just look at it. It's got healing powers."
she definitely wanted people's opinion. Like,
Oh yeah, do I have a good ass?
am I working with something here?
Yeah, because after she leaves him, she walks over to a couple that was looking at it. She's like, "That's mine."
Immediately, like
That's funny. She wasn't much of a character, but like that moment was pretty funny.
she could have had more, but I think they wanted room for everything else to happen. It was good.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. And then Dom gets a call from Yas, and she tells him to look out the window. And then she's down below on a boat floating in the river. And Dom waves back, and she gets excited. She's like, "I knew you were a boat waver." Contrast to
two
to
types
her
of
ex.
people.
Yeah. And Yas tells him to come down and meet her, and he hustles down, which is a lot of running. It wasn't as close as like it seemed from the window, I guess. And like Yas said, she did this as a grand gesture because Dom deserved one. Because when he mentioned trying to do a grand gesture for Gia in the past, and it didn't quite work
Just
out.
didn't.
Yeah, and then we finally get the big kiss at the end, and we see they're happy, and it immediately ends because this is a very breezy flick. We don't need anything more
Yeah.
than that. Yeah. So
And
that
end it like
was
an anime. I don't need to know anymore.
Power of
yeah. We
friendship.
we made it. We crossed the finish line. Done.
There will be no Boruto. Leave it. Leave it.
I mean, if they made a Rye Lane 2, I'd watch it, but we don't need one at all. Like the 80 minutes we got, perfect. All right.
I liked everything. I liked so much about the movie. You were right about that one section just kind of being the only like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have a reason, and for romantic comedies, it's I feel like it happens more times than not where like that part feels forced. Like, okay, they have to break up. Like the love has to be tested. But since it happens so much that it's a part of the genre that it's whatever. I didn't take any points away from it. So, if you were in Dom's position, or should I say, no? What's the more interesting question? If you were in Yaz's position, would you have felt sorry for this dude crying in the stall? Terra?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, would I have
Ah.
done all of that?
And this is before
Debatable.
you knew that he had abs.
You're funny. Yeah, I still say I would feel sorry for him. I don't know if I'd be all like out of my way to comfort him per se. Maybe. First of all, I don't leave my house. Let me start there. So the likelihood of me having this situation is slim. But I probably would have been like, "Yo, are you okay?" And like let him have his moment when he was like, "It's a private moment." Honestly, when she was like, "Yo, this isn't really a private space," I probably
Not
would have
really.
said the same
Not
thing.
really
Like,
private, is it?
"Yeah, nigga, you in the bathroom, so you can chuck it up if this is really
In it.
what you." Yeah.
In
um,
it. Sorry.
but yeah, I don't know. I do some wild shit, so who knows? Maybe this would have ended like that.
I don't want to say I talked him down. That's kind of that assumes a lot about what was going on. But I was at a bar once, and a guy was crying, and we had a chat about his ex and how that wasn't working out. And I bought him a drink and like talked to him and whatnot. So that situation, maybe like someone crying in the bathroom. I don't know that I can just make eye contact with them after we realize who we are in a public space. I don't. I think it just kind of be like that little and leave. It'd have been left there.
And
Yeah.
if I take into account also like 20-something-year-old Terra, I probably would have just been like, yo, you good? You need anything? You don't? Okay, bye.
20-something Tim would have said, "Yo, are you constipated? That's is everything coming out all right? You just I wouldn't have thought about it being anything more emotional than that. I'd been, I don't know, 20-year-old Tim would have walked outside and went, "Yo, this motherfucker in the bathroom crying. Y'all come in here. Why are you crying in the bathroom?"
Like a middle schooler. Hey, he taking a shit. Hey, he in here crying. Look at this. Oh man.
Oh God, yes.
What would I do? Man, I don't think I would, because I feel like I would just come off as creepy, and I would be too concerned about that. Like, I mean, in the bathroom specifically, and I would just leave it alone. Maybe if I don't even think I would have gotten down to like see the color of her shoes, or her shoes.
No,
Like,
we wouldn't have gotten to that.
yeah, so it wouldn't have panned out. I would still be single. Yeah.
It happens.
I had like a kind of a weird thought. I know I brought up how colorful the movie was just in general,
Yeah.
but this movie takes one of my favorite parts from the movie Scott Pilgrim and expands upon it.
Oh, what?
The date between Scott and Ramona, where they were just walking around having a conversation about random things, felt like the most real thing in the movie.
Yeah.
It was so grounded for a movie where someone can punch someone into coins. And this did that in a way that bridged. I mean, obviously it's a rom-com, but I don't feel like I've seen rom-coms that get this part right, like as well as this movie did. Like a lot of the dialogue in rom-coms feels specifically like written. I mean, obviously they wrote stuff for this too, but this just felt way more natural.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that it felt so fluid and natural and like real.
And I don't know if that's a testament to the writers, to the actors, but everything, all of it, whatever, it worked in the end, because it honestly sounded like they were already friends, just vibing. Yeah,
they definitely could have ended up at least as friends, regardless of what happened. I think off of just this interaction.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll be a Jon Snow and damn, I just forgot her name. The broad from Game of Thrones. How they got married in real life, like they were love interests in the TV show and ended up actually becoming love interests in real life. I could see this happening between those two because they actually have very like palatable energy, at least that translated in the film, which kudos to them. But I could see that happening like for real.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of a thought I had. Like, I appreciate neither of them were beautiful in the, I don't want to say traditional, but you know what I mean? In the Eurocentric sense.
They weren't conventionally attractive.
Yeah, but they were beautiful.
American-wise, at least.
Yeah.
And let's shout out, they're both dark-skinned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Point, both unconventionally attractive. I appreciate the colors that they put them in because they could have kept them in more muted colors. But they kept bright, vibrant colors. Like Yaz's hair.
Shout out to the lighting director.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because even they always look beautiful. Like the skin always pop, and we know, especially for dark skinned people on movie. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Even when it was dark even when it was night, all the detail of their face was still there.
Yes. They were always beautiful.
Even Eric was a dark skinned dude.
Oh yeah,
was brown skin. Like the artist dude.
That restaurant was not lit like bright and or anything, but he was like very much like you could see all of his like emotions and like the way he was like he was like just his ridiculous
Being Eric.
cartoonish Ericness.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, bro, I got fired.
Jules was brown skin. Like they
Mhm.
they did not shy away. In general, the diversity of the cast, because Tabby was not. She was a woman of color.
Mhm.
Nathan was a man of color, a black dude. I think her
I think
friend may have been,
I think
just the one white girl,
Cass might,
Kaz.
yeah,
and even then, she could be a white pass and insert some race
Yeah,
or
yeah.
ethnicity
that's
here.
true.
We wouldn't know.
She could be quote
So
unquote Egyptian. We don't know.
I'm glad
I'm
to
glad
see
you
that
put
we
the rules
got this
around that.
quality, this type of movie, this quality movie, and it's us on the screen.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I know that's almost becoming cliche now because we're getting a lot of them, a lot more than
Mhm.
we used to. But the quality, though, like I said, that
Yes.
97% on the critic score, most of those critics are white, and most of those critics don't understand black shit, whether it be American black, British black. Like it, they usually judge shit hard, or they don't judge it at all because it's like, oh, they write it off. And honestly, when I looked at the three critics that didn't give it a good score, like when you read what they said about it, you can be like, you weren't going to like this movie anyway.
Mhm.
Like you weren't going to care. You can tell. Like I felt it in my bones. But anyway, fuck them.
I feel like movies like this give me a lot of hope that things will be like that one period of time when people just went to House Party because it was a movie. They didn't think about it being a black movie, or
Yeah,
people who watched Fresh Prince because they liked the show
yeah,
and didn't think about it being like a black
a
show.
black show.
Like
Yeah,
we got so close to that all the times. You'd get like your Urkels or whoever, and that would be as much as there was. It was never as much as there is now. Like I know people who are not watching Beef thinking about this is a show with Asian people in it. They're watching it because they want to see the show that people told them was good.
yeah,
And there's a lot of like subtext and then stuff that is right on the people's sleeves about like Asian culture and like their own diaspora. It's amazing about that. And this movie does that too. I guess for British people, it's probably even more like pivotal. But again, they don't leave outside of their own spaces, and everybody who occupies these spaces is like them. They're free to say and do things the way they would do when they're comfortable. I think that comes through in the acting.
yeah. 100%, 100%.
yeah,
Like you
and
can
I think that
tell.
even ties back into like how natural it felt. Like this could realistically happen. Like anybody who
Absolutely.
has done dating in the past couple of years or whatever, or in their early 20s, because again, I am not, but having done the dating shit for a while, just being like, damn, this could have legit been like a thing that you can see or hear about, or maybe your friends have experienced on some random type shit. Maybe not the whole breaking into your ex's apartment and stealing a record and putting a moon cup in some rice and beans, but literally going on some random adventure with a person, like the quintessential, oh, well, the date lasted for 3 days type shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have been a whole lot worse than what we
Yeah.
got when they got in the apartment. But I'm
Ugh.
glad. I'm glad. Maybe she was in there by herself, and no one came home. But thankfully, like Yaz
You
didn't
know,
go off
another
that
really
cliff.
good thing about this movie that I feel like is worth mentioning,
Go for it.
there's no trauma. There's
Nah,
no trauma bullshit.
nah.
No.
Even when it got to like the bits where like the breakups, it still wasn't. It like they did it in such a way that we were laughing at it. So at no point were we ever sad in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. Because
So
even the last one that we reviewed, there was trauma within there that's very real and very palatable. And yes, there's trauma around infidelity and cheating and things of that nature that, depending on where you are in your life and journey, that could have brought it up. But for the
but they
most part,
handled it
like,
right.
yeah, there
Well,
wasn't no
not necessarily
weird.
right, but they handled it in a way where it never killed the mood.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
like you felt good all the way through the movie.
Yeah.
Man, now I can't wait for Christmas so I can show you the next one. But anyway, I'll wait till then.
I'm be I'm gonna be sitting there listening to this movie, and in my head, trying really hard to not overthink the spelling of Guan.
G apostrophe WAN.
Okay, I guess you said final thoughts. Extremely colorful movie that correctly, in my opinion, represents just the ability to get joy even after a bad breakup. This was very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terra.
I think the last time I referred it to a Naruto character, and so I was thinking on how to do this again, and I think I've managed to figure it out.
All right.
I would rate this Rock Lee. Because Rock Lee is in his resurgence period right now, where everybody's like, yo, people have been sleeping on Rock Lee. And I feel like if you were just casually like scrolling through your Hulus or whatever and you didn't like hear about this movie and you read the description, you'd be like, whatever, not a big deal. But
You
when we
put it
think
on as
about the
background
cast,
noise.
yeah, when you look at the fact that this is a brand new director's debut, a cast full of people that are new to like movie acting, whatever, sleeper hit. Like very much,
Mm-hmm.
it was a really, really, really good movie. If I were to
Mm-hmm.
attach a number to it, I'd say an 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5, whatever. So I give this movie Rock Lee.
You put it on as background noise, and then the movie takes off its weights, and you're like, God damn!
That
Okay.
motherfucker opened up the 7th gate, and I was not ready.
Tim, did you have a rating or
Oh,
a Tim rating?
Yeah. If you liked that one section of Scott Pilgrim where there's the date, if you thought that was cute and you wanted more of that, this movie is everything that does. It makes you happy. It makes you excited for the people. It is not as gross as Never Been Kissed.
Even though there's a lot of bathroom stuff, as you
Oh
also
yeah, even there's a lot of bathroom stuff. It is not as as Never Been Kissed.
I just saw. I don't know if any of you guys watched it or thought about watching, but David Johnson, Dom, he's in HBO's Industry, that series.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know how much he's in it, but if you're trying to get more Dom in your life, Tara, there you go.
Oh, that was a thing I thought of just before we got on here, but I didn't look it up. This makes me remember that I still haven't watched that animated black romance thing on Netflix.
Oh, Intergalactic.
I still haven't watched that, and
Yeah.
I hope that this isn't just a live action version of that, because now I'm going to watch Intergalactic and I'll be like, could have been.
This to me was better than Intergalactic, but
Okay.
Intergalactic is still worth the watch.
Okay. I was literally, I almost literally was like, maybe I'll put that on tonight because now I'm curious. Yeah.
I was say we can do Intergalactic next.
I want to see
I've actually
black
seen
folk
it.
in love.
Oh,
Like black folk in love, and not like she fixing to shave mister.
All right, we have one more review that someone needs to get.
Oh, so look, the first time I watched it, I gave it a 7 out of 10, which means good, right? Second time I watched it, I caught so much more jokes. The ones I already laughed at became funnier, and then I found more jokes to laugh at. So, like, I'm honestly thinking about bumping up from a 7 to not just the 8, which is great, but 9, which
Okay.
is masterpiece. Like, I really love this. Like, rewatching it for the podcast, I was excited. I couldn't wait for us to record.
Fantastic.
So 8.5, as I'm between 8 and 9. Like, that masterpiece is a strong statement, and like I said, I couldn't find anything wrong with it for real. I wasn't gonna take points off for the forcing the breakup moment, but
you need to pull that you need to pull that rope.
Yeah, it's part of the genre. I can't think of anything wrong with it, and I loved everything in it. That's a masterpiece, right?
They get like a did they get like a .001 for saying the name of the movie in the movie?
Thank you for right. But you know what? I'm gonna give him a 9. I'm gonna give him a 9.
Yes.
He's like, Rye Lane Market. All right. Well, plugs. That's the episode. Terra, any plugs? Anything? You wanna?
No, like I think I said last time, I live in Denver. If anybody wants to, hang out or whatever,
Have
that's
you
cool.
have you ever seen The Last Dinosaur since you've been there? Is it around?
No, but I was thinking about this. You know what? I'm not even going to
What
go on
is?
that theory. I'll save
What is
that
the
for later.
last dinosaur? What?
Denver, The Last Dinosaur.
No,
Am
I
I
have not.
am I so old that the cartoon that I shouldn't have been watching when I was so old is too old for y'all?
Look,
How old are you, Tim?
I'm 45.
black don't
I would
crack,
have
man.
never guessed that.
I'm
Black.
so old that the cartoon that I shouldn't have been watching because I was too old for it is too old for y'all. Oh
Wait, Tim, how
no.
old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
33.
Oh, okay. So we're the same age.
All right.
I think like I might have you by some months.
Everybody has me by some months because I'm at the end of the year. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
that.
2 months. 2 months.
I feel like I'm almost always the oldest person, but then there'll be somebody right around my age who is gross, and I have to distance myself from them. I always have, because it just be like, oh man, look at her. I'll be like, she was not in school when I graduated. She did not exist. Shut your mouth. I'm that guy. I make the party unfun for those dudes. It's
Good.
my
You're doing a
favorite.
service.
Yeah. So no plugs.
He's saluting at me.
No plugs.
Okay, I'll tip in with I'm Tim. I'm still in D&D Sluggers, even though some people might say that I'm not. I always mention the baseball team that you can find if you search for D&D Sluggers, but you can also find pictures of the original guy that was in the band back when they first started the band. He doesn't sing any of the songs you think he sings. It's me. D&D Sluggers, wherever retailers will sell it, and probably Amazon, the Spotify, same old stuff.
All right, and guess what I did in the last week or so? I made a Twitter for the podcast,
I
so
saw that.
I can officially say that I'm trying to find it. I can
You
officially,
can't find the Twitter for the
yeah,
for the
I can officially give you the right name to look up. It is SGBK Podcast at SGBK Podcast on Twitter, and I'll worry about any other accounts
it
later.
already gave me a movie suggestion, so it's doing better than a lot of people's Twitters already.
Hey. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Go watch Rye Lane if you haven't. It is
Take
perfect.
care.
Bye.
Bye.